And a very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Boshemer Gymnasium. Counting down to the start of latest edition of Brevard College Volleyball as the Tornadoes are hosting the Pride of Greensboro College. About 17 minutes or so away from first serve in this USA South Conference matchup. Tornadoes been playing well as of late, coming off a split at a recent USA South Conference tri-match. That went down over the weekend on Saturday in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. The Tornadoes going 5 sets in the first matchup versus Southern Virginia, dropping that one in 5 sets, but then rattling for a 4-set victory over the host, NC Wesleyan. Meanwhile, another milestone during that matchup as Caitlin Presley, the dynamic hitter and setter, she reached the 1,000 assist mark. She joins her teammate Logan Pretty, who did the same earlier this week. So congratulations to Caitlin Presley, 1,000 assists. So she'll forever be etched in the Brevard College record books with that sensational number. We mentioned Logan Pretty. She reached 1,000 assists in the last home game, a 3-0 sweep over Pfeiffer. Then also in that game, Bailey Lance with 1,000 assists. So we had 3 players in the span of 5 days go over the 1,000 mark, whether it be in digs for Bailey Lance or assists for Pretty and Presley. And the 3 of them will be honored in a pregame ceremony right before opening lineups here at the Boshemer Gymnasium. The Pride, a strong Pride club, 9-7 overall, 6-1 in the USA South Conference. So definitely a formidable matchup for the Tornadoes this evening, who enter this contest 5-8, 3-4 in the USA South. Well, stick with us. We're about 15 minutes from getting things started here at the Bosch. Tornadoes and Pride Volleyball.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Bauman, Lakeland, Florida. Go Tornadoes.
Emma Wester, Surfside Beach, South Carolina.
Caitlin Haggerty, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Bailey Lance, Millsboro, North Carolina.
Justine St. Louis, Orange City, Florida.
McKenna Parkins, Marion, North Carolina.
Kayla Murphy, Indian Trail, North Carolina.
Ashley Huxett, Boston Grove, North Carolina.
Kendall Rockstad, Kannapolis, North Carolina.
Logan Pretty, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Blair Nance, Rockford, North Carolina. Go Natives.
Caitlin Presley, Brevard, North Carolina.
Riley Contra, Peyton, Colorado.
Louisa Rodriguez, Manaus, Brazil. Go Tornadoes.
Mary Grace Valentine, Cope, South Carolina. Go Tornadoes.
Melanie Hoyle, Silva, North Carolina.
Lily White, Mount Airy, Maryland.
Justine Thomas, Waxhaw, North Carolina.
Jackson Timothy, Brandon, Florida. Go Tornadoes.
Look there at the current roster of the Brevard College Tornadoes. Great to have that group with us this season, and they've provided all sorts of exciting volleyball thus far. Tornadoes 3-4 in the USA South Conference, looking to improve to 4-4. Greensboro 6-1 in the conference. This will be a tough matchup for the Tornadoes, but Tornadoes have been hot as of late. Stick with us. Tornadoes and Pride coming up soon. Very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Moshler Gymnasium for this matchup between the Greensboro College and the Brevard College Tornadoes. Before tonight's introductions, if we could have your attention, please. First up, please join us in recognizing that this week marks the third annual American Volleyball Coaches Association Women's Volleyball Appreciation Officials Week. Please join us in thanking the officials for tonight's match and throughout the nation. Thank you, officials. We appreciate all that you do for the sport of volleyball. And also tonight, a special presentation. Last week, 3 Brevard College student athletes eclipsed the 1,000 career mark for their respective statistical categories. First up, Bailey Lance, a senior from Mills River, North Carolina. In last week's win over Pfeiffer, Bailey went over the 1,000 career digs mark to become the 4th tornado to go over 1,000 digs. Logan Pretty, a junior from Greensboro, North Carolina, also went over the 1,000 career assist mark to become the 5th tornado to join the 1,000 assist club. And then over the weekend at NC Wesleyan, senior Caitlin Presley from right here in Brevard, North Carolina, went over 1,000 assists as well to become the 5th tornado in that exclusive club. How about a big round of applause for these 3 tornadoes whose names are forever etched in the Brevard College volleyball record books. Bailey Lance, Logan Pretty, and Caitlin Presley. Congratulations once again, Bailey Lance, Logan Pretty, and Caitlin Presley, now members of the 1,000 Assist and Digs Club. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineups for both the visiting pride of the Greensboro College and your Brevard College Tornadoes. First, for the visiting pride, at 0, the libero, Morgan Mayfield. Number 3, Jalen Templeton. Number 9, Lauren Mantell. Number 10, Taylor Cody. Number 11, Carla Del Castillo. Number 12, Krista Brantley. Number 18, Peyton Shiflett. The coaches, Kevin Troop, Ethan Moore, and Natalie Rosinski. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineup for your Brevard College Tornadoes. Number 6, McKenna Parkins. Number 11, the libero, Bailey Lance. Number 12, Ashley Hoxett. Number 16, Logan Pretty. Number 18, Caitlin Presley. Number 20, Kendall Rockstad. And number 25, Jackson Tamicki. Head coach of the Tornadoes is Abby Pardee. Assistant coach is Brittany Franks. And the athletic trainer is Noah Ryson. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you and good luck to both teams. Tornadoes and Pride coming up next. Welcome back to the Boshamer Gymnasium. Glad you're able to join us for this USA South Conference volleyball matchup. Tornadoes and Pride about to square off. Pride with a very impressive 6-1 record in conference play, 9-7 in overall. Tornadoes have won 2 of their last 3 conference matchups, 3 of 4 in conference play, and 5-8 overall on this 2023 season. But a lot of momentum as of late for the Tornadoes volleyball program. We have the pregame ceremonies for Bailey Lance, Caitlin Presley, and Logan Pretty. And a successful trip all the way out to Rocky Mount, North Carolina on Saturday, where the Tornadoes split the USA South Conference tri-match, took Southern Virginia to 5 sets, and then won a 4-setter over the host of that event, NC Wesleyan. And now the Tornadoes going up against one of the top teams in the USA South Conference, Greensboro College. Tornadoes will be in their home white uniforms, blue numerals, blue lettering, blue trim, black shorts. Logan Pretty, who recently went over the 1,000 career assist mark, 5th Tornado to do so. She will get things started here. First service of this match between the Tornadoes and the Pride. Tornadoes ace. And the first point of the game, an ace by the Tornadoes. And Pretty will go right back at it. And back-to-back aces. Tornadoes ace. So back-to-back aces for Logan Pretty, starting with authority here. Now Greensboro in the visiting black uniforms. There's Lance. Pretty now setting up Hoxett. Big hit from Hoxett. And that's going to be a point for the Tornadoes. Point, Tornadoes. Libero for Greensboro is Morgan Mayfield. She wears number 0. And the Pretty service will continue up 3-0. Hoxett. Here's Pretty once again. Presley with the big hit. And then on the block there for Greensboro, Del Castillo also Shiflett on the block. Point Pride. Three-two your score. Service here from the Pride. It's Templeton. And another point there for the Pride. So the Pride have rallied back with 3 straight of their own. Service here from Templeton. Keeping it alive there, the Pride. Opportunity here, big hit, and just long. Point for the Tornadoes. Point, Tornadoes. Big hit there from number 3, Jalen Templeton of the Pride, just went long. Meanwhile, service here for Ashley Hoxett. Tornadoes up 4-3, set number 1. Big hit there, and it looks like it'll be off a Tornado hand. Point Pride. Point Pride. Substitute for the Pride, meanwhile, number 1, Kelsey Brooks checking in. Big hit there from Parkins, and that's a winner for McKenna Parkins. Point Tornadoes. So competitive ball game thus far. 5-4 the lead for the home team, the Brevard College Tornadoes. Libero Bailey Lance with the service, the senior. Lance with a dig there. Here's Pretty setting up Parkins. back row there, Shiflett keeping it alive for the Pride. Here's Pretty. Hawks it. Hit there from Brantley of the Pride. Point Pride. And another sub checking in for the Pride. That's Grace Klingensmith. Klingensmith, a sophomore out of Naples, Florida. Here's Pretty, sets up Parkins. Parkins, nifty attack there for the kill. Point Tornadoes. So that'll set up Presley's service as Pretty steps off to a round of high fives and congratulations on the Tornado bench area. Nice serve there from Presley, but then a big hit for Greensboro. Kelsey Brooks with the finish there. And sub here for the Pride, it'll be Kennedy Brumley. So the Pride very deep, it seems like. They're using all sorts of substitutes in the very early goings here in this first set. Point Tornadoes. Meanwhile, for the Tornadoes, Kendall Rockstadt's come into the contest. She was a factor on that last point in that middle blocker position. Now checking in is Caitlin Haggerty for the service for the Tornadoes. Tornadoes ace. So Tornadoes ace there for Caitlin Haggerty. Haggerty was a guest on this week's Tornado Talk. If you want to check that out on this YouTube channel, just go to the archives. Lance, Presley. Blair dances into the contest as well. Then a hit there. Like Ashley Hawks it with the finish. The Haggerty service will continue. Point Tornadoes. 9-6, Tornadoes on top. Big serve there from Haggerty. Templeton setting up her teammate. What a dig from Bailey Lance. There's Mayfield, the libero of the Pride. An attack there from Brooks, and the point's going to go to the Pride. Point Pride. Kelsey Brooks, sophomore from Burlington, North Carolina. Credit the kill to her. Meanwhile, Lauren Mantell with the service. Haggerty with the dig. Here's Hoxett. Big hit there. Blocker Cody got a hand on it for the Pride. And then a finish there. Big time hit from Shiflett. Point Pride. 9-8 the score. It's been a competitive ball game early on here. Haggerty, Presley, Nance. Then a big hit there, impressive from Taylor Cody. And we're all knotted up once again at 9. Point Tornadoes. So service error there is going to result in the Tornadoes with a service opportunity of their own. And Kendall Rockstad will do the duties. Rockstad, the junior out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. South Rowan High School. Service here from Rockstad. Templeton setting up Shiflett nicely. Big time hit there. Credit the kill to Shiflett. Point Pride. So Mayfield, the libero, will handle the service. She serves from the left side. Tornadoes back row of Haggerty, Lance, and Hoxett. It'll be Hoxett then firing away, and it's going to be a point for the Tornadoes. Point, Tornadoes. So tornado point there. So big opportunity there for the Pride, but maybe just a little too much power on it. Meanwhile, Logan Pretty with the service. Big hit there, and she's been a factor so far. Shiflett, point, Pride. Impressive start for Shiflett. Outside hitter from Asheboro, North Carolina. This will be Templeton with the service. Pretty setting up Presley. Credit the kill to Presley. Nicely done. Point, Tornadoes. So Tornadoes wrestle back the lead 12-11 after we were tied up yet again at 11-11. Meanwhile, here's Hoxett. Hoxett with a dig. Here's Pretty. Back to Hoxett. Opportunity here for the Pride. Brantley with the attack. Point, Pride. And just like that, tied up once again at 12. Shiflett, who's had the hot hand for the Pride, will handle the service this time around. Parkins with the dig. Here's Pretty. Presley, nicely done. Caitlin Presley, ladies and gentlemen. Point, Tornadoes. So the service now for Bailey Lance, senior from just up the road, Mills River, North Carolina. Shiflett digs it up. Meanwhile, attack there from Brooks. Opportunity for the NATOs, setting up Presley on the right side this time. It's Pretty going to Parkins. Yes, Parkins, big time hit there. Beautiful piece of volleyball to find Parkins on that far side. Point, Tornadoes. Big time finish there. Couldn't have drawn it up any better. Meanwhile, Bailey Lance, her service will continue. Dug up there by Mayfield. And that's going to be an attack error on Brooks. Point for the Tornadoes. Point, Tornadoes. 3 consecutive points for the Tornadoes. They've opened up a 15-12 lead. And looking to keep that momentum. Pretty. This time going backside to Presley. Big hit from Presley. Point, Tornadoes. Timeout on the court with your score, Tornadoes 16, Pride 12. Set number 1. So a timeout on the court as Pride head coach Kevin Troop wants to reorganize his squad. Reason why? 4 consecutive points by the Tornadoes after we're all tied up at 12. And gotta like what you're seeing from the Tornadoes playing against a team that is 6-1 in the USA South Conference. We've seen some dynamic offense. Pretty setting up both Presley and Parkins in recent points. Also, great service this time around, keeping this momentum going from Bailey Lance. Well, glad you're able to join us for Brevard College Volleyball. If you haven't been to the Bosch and you're in the area, come on, stop by. We've got a newly designed court. Still got that retro feel, but a brand new paint job and a brand new design on the court itself. The Tornadoes volleyball team is sporting new uniforms for 2023. And there's new scoreboards here at the Bosch. Fresh look at the Bosch. Love for you to join us in person some time for some Brevard College volleyball. Also, men's and women's basketball just around the corner as well. We're back to business here. 16-12. NATO's on top. Big serve there for Lance. Greensboro coming out of the timeout. Parkins was there for the block along with Rockstad. Brooks with a big hit there for the Pride. Parkins will send it over. There for the block was Del Castillo, and that's going to go to the Pride. Nicely done defensively, Del Castillo. Point Pride. Carla Del Castillo, middle blocker, sophomore out of Wellington, Florida, in Palm Beach County, southeast Florida. Meanwhile, service here from Klingensmith. Klingensmith's serve got the Tornadoes back on their heels a bit, and Greensboro's not able to capitalize. Point Tornadoes. So now a 17-13 lead for the NATOs here in set number one. Well, Caitlin Presley, the local from Brevard, North Carolina, she joined the 1,000 Assist Club. And you may be asking yourself, well, I see Caitlin Presley with all these kills, all these attacks. How is she in the 1,000 Assist Club? Well, she does it all. She does both positions, whether it be setter or hitter. And just a dynamic, versatile player, Caitlin Presley. Brantley sends it over. It's going to be a point for the Pride. Point Pride. Krista Brantley, junior for the Pride. Meanwhile, service here will be from Brumley. Nance somehow, some way got that over. Blair Nance, nicely done. Point Tornadoes. Blair Nance also was a guest on the recent Tornado Talk out of Roxboro, North Carolina. And a lot of smiles after that winner from Nance. Point Tornadoes. So Tornadoes, 19-14 here in the first set as Haggerty will continue her service. Caitlin Haggerty, senior out of Raleigh, North Carolina. There's Haggerty with the dig. Here's Presley. Attack there from Hoxton. Dug up nicely by Shiflett. Mayfield sends it over. Presley now setting up Rockstad. Point's going to go to the Pride. Point Pride. So checking in now for the Pride be Lauren Mantell. Mantell comes all the way from La Mesa, California. Big hit there in the finish. Kendall Rockstad, ladies and gentlemen. Point Tornadoes. So Tornadoes first team to hit the 20-point threshold. And with a 5-point advantage here, set number one against one of the top teams in the USA South. Shiflett, a big reason why. Big hit there. Point Pride. So 20-16. Stating the obvious when tell you that every point from this point forward here in this set is critical. Point Pride. As the Pride have just reeled off two in a row to cut that lead to 3, 20-17. Morgan Mayfield out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, and that's going to be a service error. Point's going to go back to the Tornadoes. Point Tornadoes. Checking in will be Logan Pretty as Blair Nance is received nicely from the Tornadoes bench area. Meanwhile, service from Pretty. Haggerty, that's a big dig against a big hit from Shiflett. Keeping it alive there was Mantell, but the point's going to go to the Tornadoes. Point, Tornadoes. Well, students continuing to file in here on this Tuesday night. We see the Tornado flag starting to be waved in approval. Tornadoes ace. Then an ace by the Tornadoes. And a timeout on the floor with your score 23-17. Timeout on the floor. So 23-17, Tornadoes on top, set number 1.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Back here at the Bosch, great start for the Tornadoes here in this first set. Currently ahead 23-17. Need to finish out this set 2 points away from taking a 1-0 advantage against a strong Pride squad under the direction of Kevin Troop. Tornadoes under the direction of Abby Pardee. Coming out of the timeout, Shiflett with the finish. Point Pride. So 23-18 your score. Templeton will handle the service. Checking in for the Pride is Brantley along that front line. She replaces Brumley. Here's Pretty. Point Pride. Jackson Tamicki's checked back in for the Nados. She was part of that original starting lineup. And 23-19. Pretty. Setting up Hoxett. Nice block there from Presley. Haggerty digs it up. Here's Hoxett. Big hit from Hoxett. And the point's going to go to the Tornadoes. Point, Tornadoes. Set point, Tornadoes. So a set point opportunity for the Tornadoes, up 24-19. Point Pride. And who else but Shiflett able to answer? Peyton Shiflett. And she will now handle the service as Tornadoes continue with this set point opportunity. Now up 24-20. Big hit from Presley. Pretty now setting up Parkins. Parkins with the finish. That's the winner for the Tornadoes. Point Tornadoes. First set goes to the Tornadoes, 25-20. Tornadoes ahead 1-0. Set number 2 coming up next. So well done as the Tornadoes win that first set, 25-20. We'll switch sides, head to set number 2. Your score after 1, Brevard with a 1-0 advantage over the visitors from Greensboro.
Florida, go Tornadoes.
Emma Wester, Surfside Beach, South Carolina.
Caitlin Haggerty, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Bailey Lance, Millersburg, North Carolina.
Justine St. Louis, Orange City, Florida.
McKenna Parkins, Marion, North Carolina.
Kayla Murphy, Indian Trail, North Carolina.
Ashley Huxett, Boston Grove, North Carolina.
Kendall Rockstad, Kannapolis, North Carolina.
Logan Petty, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Blair Nance, Roxmore, North Carolina, go Natives. Caitlin Presley, Brevard, North Carolina.
Riley Contra, Peyton, Colorado.
Luísa Rodrigues, Manaus, Brasil, go Tornadoes.
Mary Grace Valentine, Cope, South Carolina. Go Tornadoes.
Melanie Hoyle, Silva, North Carolina.
Lily White, Mount Airy, Maryland.
Justine Thomas, Waxhaw, North Carolina.
Jackson Temecula, Brandon, Florida, go Tornadoes.
Well, great start to this matchup for the Brevard College Tornadoes versus Greensboro. Leading the way for the Tornadoes on the offensive end was McKenna Parkins. She had 4 kills, including the set-winning kill there to finish off Greensboro 25-20 in that first set. Ashley Hoxett with 3 kills. Caitlin Presley had 3 kills as well. Logan Pretty with 9 assists. Presley had 4 assists. Total of 4 aces for the Tornadoes, 3 by Pretty, 1 by Haggerty. Leading in the dig department was Bailey Lance with 6. Hoxett had 5. Meanwhile, Greensboro was led offensively by Peyton Shiflett. It felt like we were calling Shiflett's name all night long during that first set. 9 of the 14 kills by Shiflett. Templeton with 11 assists and 6 digs by Mayfield, the libero. 25-20, Tornadoes win that opening set. Greensboro did have 3 blocks, so that was a factor. And Greensboro will start with the service here. Templeton. And that point's going to go to the Greensboro Pride, Brantley. Point, Pride. So the Pride starting off with a opening point here in this second set. There were 8 tied scores in that first set. Point, Tornadoes. But one interesting stat, there were no lead changes. The reason why, Tornadoes never surrendered the lead. Greensboro came back and tied the score 8 times, but the Tornadoes never surrendered that lead. Point, Pride. So that'll bring up Shiflett with the service. 9 kills to lead all players in that opening set. And just missing there. Point, Tornadoes. So the point will go to the Tornadoes. Caitlin Presley will do the honors. Presley had 2 services in that opening set, and she just misses there. Point, Pride. Klingensmith with the service. Point, Pride. Big finish there for Krista Brantley. You can feel sort of a different energy with the Pride coming out of that break in between the first and second set. Tornadoes are going to have to battle hard here in this second set. Point, Tornadoes. McKenna Parkins, a big part of that equation. She had 4 kills in that first set. Caitlin Haggerty will handle the service. Blair Nance is checked back in. Nance, Rockstad, and Hoxett up front. Also on the court, Presley and the libero, Bailey Lance. Service here from Haggerty. Jump serve. Dug up by Mayfield. Presley sets up Hoxett. An acrobatic dig there by Lance, but point's going to go to the Pride. Point, Pride. So checking in to serve for the Pride, Kennedy Brumley. Her third serve. Presley. Hoxett.
Point, Tornadoes.
So a big-time point there for the Tornadoes to cut the deficit to 5-4. Kendall Rockstad will handle the service. Service from Rockstad. Point, Pride. Kelsey Brooks with the finish there. And meanwhile, Mantell will check in. She'll handle the service. Bounces the ball 4 or 5 times. Now serves with the right hand. Here's Hoxett. Haggerty. Del Castillo sending it over. Hoxett the other way. Big hit there in the finish.
Point, Tornadoes.
Ashley Hoxett, her 4th kill of the evening. Meanwhile, Logan Pretty check back in. Pretty with the service.
Point, Pride.
Shiflett once again with a kill there. She's reached double-digit kills, and we're very early in the second set. What a factor she has been. Tamiki was there for a potential block for the NATOs. Now here's Tamiki.
Point, Pride.
Once again, the Tornado defense was there in the form of Tamiki and Presley. However, just too much power from the Pride, blasting through that wall of Tornado blockers. Here's Pretty. Presley, big hit in the finish.
Point, Tornadoes.
Big hit there for Caitlin Presley. Meanwhile, Ashley Hoxett will do the duties as Haggerty checks out. Hoxett, Pretty, Lance, Presley, Parkins, Tamiki. There's 6 on the floor for the Tornadoes, but Shiflett has other ideas.
Point, Pride.
9-6, Pride on top. Templeton serving from the right side. Tornadoes poised to receive. Hoxett will do that. Here's Tamiki. And Parkins unable to get to it.
Point, Pride.
And the Pride, who did not lead in that first set, now up 10-6 here in the second set. Pretty. Presley with the hit. And the finish. Caitlin Presley.
Point, Tornadoes.
That'll set up a service opportunity for Bailey Lance. Tornadoes trailing 10-7.
Tornadoes ace.
So Tornadoes ace. And NATO's up 10-8. Service ace, such a big part of the Tornado attack. Here's Parkins. Lance, Pretty, setting up Rockstad. Lance kept it alive there. And that point's going to go to the Tornadoes. Indeed.
Point Tornadoes.
So 10-9 your score. So after trailing by 4, the Tornadoes working their way back into this second set. Presley. Here's Parkins. A little too much power behind that one. Point's going to go to the Pride.
Point Pride.
Substitutes checking in. And it'll be Peyton Shiflett with the service. Pretty. Presley. Here comes Greensboro. Templeton setting up Shiflett, and the finish from Shiflett.
Point Pride.
Shiflett's service will continue. Parkins. Here's Presley. Big hit there from Shiflett and somehow gets past Rockstad and Presley.
Point Pride.
And the Pride now stretch their lead back to 4 points, 13-9. Parkins, and that's going to be an ace for Shiflett. Parkins was unable to handle that service.
Point Pride.
And the Pride now with their largest lead of the match, ahead 14-9. Greensboro able to keep it alive. Pretty now setting up Parkins, and several Pride players trying to make it into the stands to keep that one alive, but the point's going to go to the Tornadoes.
Point Tornadoes.
Big hit there for the Nados. Meanwhile, Presley with the jump serve.
Point Tornadoes.
$14-11. What an effort there for Blair Nance to keep that point alive. Meanwhile, Greensboro on the attack. Just firing away, hammering away, but the Tornadoes are there defensively. Another big hit, and that's going to go the way of the Pride.
Point Pride.
Number 12, Krista Brantley with the finish ultimately, as those Pride hitters just relentless with the attacks. Tornadoes were there defensively 3 different times, but that last hit from Brantley, too much to handle. Presley. Here's Nance.
Point Tornadoes.
So checking back in is Caitlin Haggerty. Coach Pardee likes her in these service situations. Tornadoes trailing 15-12, set number 2, ahead 1-0.
Point Pride.
Service error there is going to result in a point for the Pride. Back up by 4 points. Meanwhile, here's Brumley with the service. Rockstad with the finish.
Point Tornadoes.
And Kendall Rockstad will be rewarded with a service opportunity. Big time finish there, Kendall Rockstad. 16-13. Cody on the attack there, and after some deliberation, the point's going to go to the Pride.
Point Pride.
So Lauren Mantell will handle the service. Presley. Blair Nance.
Point, Pride.
(18-13). Pride back up by 5, matching their largest lead. Make it 6.
Point, Pride. Timeout on the court.
So timeout on the court, and Tornadoes will regroup, now down 19-13 here in set number 2.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Back here at the Boschmer Gymnasium. Coming off the Tornado timeout, here's Hoxett.
Point, Tornadoes.
So Ashley Hoxett able to get the winner there. Tornadoes trying to hang on here in this second set, down 19-14. Hit there from Presley, just wide.
Point, Pride.
So update from women's soccer, Brevard 4, Salem 0. Goals by Abby Mayer, also Grace Black, Hillary Schmitz with the goal as well, and Channing Barker. So congratulations to the BC women's soccer team, big win.
Point, Pride.
As the Pride now have stretched their lead to a game-high 7 points, 21-14. Here's Pretty. Tamicki. Big hit, Jackson Tamicki.
Point, Tornadoes.
Jackson Tamicki, sophomore out of Brandon, Florida, in that Tampa Bay area. Some folks here at the Boschmer Gymnasium were checking out the Tampa Bay Rays playing the Texas Rangers in Major League Baseball playoffs wildcard round earlier today. Meanwhile, point there for the Pride. 22-15. Pride on top. Point, Pride. Pretty. Here's Parkins. Now here comes the Pride the other way. Dug up there by Bailey Lance. Big hit there from Presley.
Point, Tornadoes.
As the Tornado student section starts to get into it. Bailey Lance will handle the service.
Tornadoes ace.
So Tornadoes ace. Getting the crowd going. Bailey Lance trying to keep this momentum going. Trailing 22-17, set number 2. Tornadoes are up 1-0 in sets. Big hit there by Brantley.
Point, Pride.
Meanwhile, Shiflett will handle the service. She's been the most dangerous weapon for the Pride all evening. Pretty setting up Parkins. Nicely done.
Point, Tornadoes.
Now Presley will handle the service. (23-18) your score. And the finish there by Brantley.
Point, Pride. Set point, Pride.
So the Pride with a big cushion ahead 24-18. A lot of set point opportunities here for the Pride. Different story here in this second set after the Tornadoes took the first set 25-20. Service error there, so Tornadoes still staying alive.
Point, Tornadoes.
Caitlin Haggerty will handle the service.
Point, Tornadoes.
Tornadoes not done yet here in this second set. Now have worked their way back to a 24-20 deficit. Zero room for error, however. You've got to continue to put together winning points here if you want to mount a comeback like this. That'll do it. Pride take the second set 25-20.
Point, Pride. Pride take set number 2, 25-20. We are all tied up, one set apiece.
So all tied up, one set apiece, 25-20 BC in the first set, 25-20 Pride in set number 2. Stick with us. We'll have more action for you as we head to the third set here at the Bosch. Welcome back to the Boschberg Gymnasium. Do want to make note, this week, in case you didn't know, was the American Volleyball Coach Association Women's Volleyball Officials Appreciation Week. It's a week where throughout the country at volleyball matches, folks are thanking the officials for not just tonight's match, as we've got Diane Penner, Johnny Gutterwill, Morgan Bess, and Adam Lippert in the house, but throughout the nation. couldn't do it without the officials. These games wouldn't happen. So next time you see an official, thank them for all their work. They have a difficult job at times, especially when some of the crowds can get a little unruly. Not to mention, coaches can sometimes lose their cool a little bit on the sidelines, but do want to thank the officials for women's volleyball throughout the country. Great work, and there was a special moment announcement in the pregame introductions, and a nice round of applause from the crowd here at the Boschmer Gymnasium. So thank you, officials, for all you do. Part of AVCA, American Volleyball Coach Association, Officials Appreciation Week. Well, the libero, Bailey Lance, checks back in. Tornadoes looking to rally after losing that second set, 25-20. Peyton Shiflett continues to add to her big total. She has 14 kills. McKenna Parkins leading the Tornadoes with 7. Ashley Hoxha with 6. Caitlin Presley with 6. Pretty will start things up for the Tornadoes. There's a big hit from Shiflett, but Tamicki was there for the block.
Point Tornadoes.
Big time block there from Jackson Tamicki. And a 1-0 advantage here for the Tornadoes, set number 3. Parkins keeps it alive using Presley. And another play defensively, Tamicki at the net.
Point Tornadoes.
2-0 Tornadoes here in this second set.
Tornadoes ace.
And Tornadoes ace. Big hit there from Presley. Dug up by Bailey Lance to the best of her ability, but the point's going to go to the Pride.
Point Pride.
So service here from Jalen Templeton. Templeton, the sophomore from Mount Airy, North Carolina. Lance. Tamicki keeps the point alive for the Tornadoes.
Point Pride.
Nice finish there from Del Castillo. And the Pride now trailing 3-2. Set number 3. Lance. Pretty. Presley. Finish.
Point Tornadoes.
And Tornadoes looking sharper here in this third set compared to the second set. And Hoxett will do the honors. Jump serve from Hoxett. Shiflett digs it up. Templeton setting up Brantley, and the finish from Brantley.
Point Pride.
Shiflett with the service. Pretty sets up Presley. Nice job defensively again. Tamicki and Parkins in the blocking position.
Point Tornadoes.
So service here for Bailey Lance. She's got 2 aces on the day. She's been the most active server for the Tornadoes. This will be her 12th serve attempt, and that one just missing, hitting the very top of that net.
Point Pride.
Meanwhile, some substitutes checking in. Cody checks in for the Pride. Also, Klingensmith. Klingensmith will do the honors with the service. Good looking point there as substitutes for the NATOs. Blair Nance checking in. Handling the service here will be Presley. Tornadoes ahead 6-4. Dug up there nicely, Bailey Lance. Here's Parkins. Finished by Parkins.
Point, Tornadoes.
Starting to feel the energy pick up a little bit here in the Bosch. And good reason why. Tornadoes rallying with a couple key points here. 7-4. Presley. Lance. Parkins. Back the other way, here come the Pride. Presley once again. Here's Parkins.
Point, Tornadoes.
So the ruling off of a hand, one of those Pride blockers. So the Tornadoes now with an 8-4 lead, doubling up the Pride early on here. Set number 3, all knotted up, one set apiece.
Point, Tornadoes.
Well, give Kendall Rockstad some credit there, the middle blocker for the NATOs. Now ahead 9-4.
Point, Tornadoes.
McKenna Parkins, she's led the Tornadoes in kills this evening. Big finish there. Presley now with the service. Tornadoes up 10-4. Make it 11-4.
Point, Tornadoes. Timeout on the court.
So timeout on the court as Tornadoes have rallied after dropping that second set 25-20, have outscored Greensboro 11-4 here in this third set. McKenna Parkins now with 10 kills. Caitlin Presley with 7. Ashley Hoxett with 6. Kendall Rockstead has 5 kills. So a lot of different Tornadoes getting it done in the kill department offensively. Logan Pretty leading the way for BC with 18 assists. Caitlin Presley has 11 assists. Pretty with 4 aces. Bailey Lance has a pair of aces as well. Tamicki and Rockstad each with a block. Also, Presley and Tamicki combined for a block. Bailey Lance leading the way on the back end with 18 digs. Greensboro has been led by Peyton Shiflett, 14 kills, although she slowed down a little bit here after an enormous first set where she had 9 kills. She's only had 5 kills since, so perhaps some adjustments there by the Tornadoes defensively. Meanwhile, Brantley has come alive a bit as of late. She has 8 kills, Brooks with 5. 27 assists for Templeton.
Tornadoes ace.
So big ace there for Presley, and the Tornadoes up 12-4. Big time scoring run here for the NATOs. And finally snapping that scoring run, Cody able to get it done.
Point, Pride.
But this matchup, it was a 5-4 Tornado lead before that impressive 7-0 run that was finally snapped.
Point, Tornadoes.
And the Tornadoes able to win another point there to kind of fend off what seemed to be a little bit of momentum for the Pride. 13-5, Tornadoes on top.
Pride.
Brooks there getting it done for the NATOs. Check that for the Pride. Kelsey Brooks, sophomore out of Burlington, North Carolina. Haggerty. Here's Hoxett.
Point, Pride.
Shiflett with the finish there. Shiflett now with 15 kills. And an ace there for the Pride.
Point, Pride.
That's Mantell. Lauren Mantell.
Point, Pride.
So back-to-back aces for Lauren Mantell out of La Mesa, California, which is in the San Diego area, deep Southern California. And she's found her way to state of North Carolina to represent the Greensboro Pride.
Point, Pride.
Point there from Taylor Cody.
Timeout on the court.
Yeah, timeout on the court. Your score, 13-10, Tornadoes on top. Set number 3.
Ashlyn Bauman, Lakeland, Florida. Go Tornadoes.
Emma Wester, Surfside Beach, South Carolina.
Caitlin Haggerty, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Bailey Lance, Middlesboro, North Carolina.
Justine St. Louis, Orange City, Florida.
McKenna Parkins, Marion, North Carolina.
Kayla Murphy, Indian Trail, North Carolina.
Ashley Hoxett, Boston Grove, North Carolina.
Kendall Rockstad, Kannapolis, North Carolina.
Logan Petty, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Blair Nance,
Roxborough, North Carolina. Go Natives.
Caitlin Presley, Brevard, North Carolina.
Riley Contra, Peyton, Colorado.
Luísa Rodrigues, Manaus, Brasil. Go Tornadoes.
Mary Grace Valentine, Kip, South Carolina. Go Tornadoes.
Melanie Hoyle, Silva, North Carolina.
Lily White, Mount Airy, Maryland.
Justine Thomas, Waxhaw, North Carolina.
Jackson Tamiki, Brandon, Florida. Go Tornadoes.
Back here at the Bosch. And Tornadoes coming out of the timeout. Ashley Hoxett.
Point, Tornadoes.
So Hoxett, just what the doctor ordered as the Pride was starting to work their way back a little bit. And our first look of the contest for the Tornadoes. Kaylin Murphy, service specialist.
Point, Tornadoes.
And Murphy's first serve is a successful one, so she'll get to continue her service. What a weapon Murphy is with that serve.
Point, Pride.
Big time hit there. Peyton Shiflett, we've been calling her name all night long. 15-11. NATO's on top. Service here from Mayfield. Libero for the Pride.
Point, Pride.
Hoxett digs it up. And beautifully done there, the touch of Blair Nance.
Point, Tornadoes.
Blair Nance, very nicely done. Sophomore from Roxborough, North Carolina. The finesse on that last attack. Big time block from Presley. Power against power, and Presley's there again. Shiflett was just firing away. Mano a mano against Presley, and Presley blocked it twice, and she keeps it somehow alive as that was heading towards the grandstand, the student section. Shiflett again to Mickey and Presley there for the block. Hawks it with the attack. Shiflett yet again. Now she goes with the touch attack. And then the finish by the Tornadoes. What a point, Brevard College.
Point, Tornadoes.
An outstanding point all the way around. Offense, defense, you name it. Caitlin Presley on that point. Several blocks, saving it from going out of bounds. And the Pretty service will continue. Haggerty, Pretty. Hawks it, no choice but just send it over. Here comes Greensboro. Templeton sets up who else but Shiflett. Those two have been combining for that combo all night long.
Point, Pride.
17-13 Brevard. Greensboro College Pride. The Tornadoes football team played at Greensboro this past weekend. Win for the NATOs on the gridiron.
Point, Pride.
So that was overturned. Originally it was showing a point for the Tornadoes, but ultimately point goes to the Pride. Pretty. Presley with a big hit.
Point, Pride.
17-15. You feel as if this set could determine the match. Whoever wins this one goes ahead 2-1, which is often the case when you head to a third set tied 1-1. It's very tough to come back from that 2-1 deficit.
Point, Tornadoes.
Ashley Hoxit will handle the service for the NATOs here. Ahead 18-15.
Point, Pride.
Taylor Cody with the finish there, her fourth kill. Here's Parkins.
Point, Tornadoes.
Del Castillo and Brantley were both there for the block, but unable to get it over to the Tornado side of the net. Point will go to Brevard. Bailey Lance, now a member of the 1000 Dig Club, also a service ace factor.
Tornadoes, ace.
So the Tornadoes ace for Bailey Lance, who, by the way, recently broke the career record, most aces at Brevard College in the NCAA era. Here's Lance. Presley, big hit there. Pretty. Parkins. Shifley keeping it alive. Meanwhile, there's Brantley. Pretty once again goes backside to Presley. Presley, big hit there. Somehow kept alive. What a play by Mayfield. And the finish by Brantley. The block was there, both Parkins and Rockstead.
Point, Pride.
But the block ricochets out of bounds. And the Pride now trailing 20-17. Tornadoes have led the majority of this third set. Hoxett. Here's Presley. Klingensmith kept it alive there for the Pride. Now Presley. And nice job on the block. Kelsey Brooks, also Cody. And the Pride with another point. Point, Pride. 2018 becoming compelling down the stretch here, set number 3. Parkins.
Point, Tornadoes.
21-18 with the Presley service coming up.
Point, Tornadoes.
Caitlin Presley has given the Tornadoes a 22-18 lead. Nifty move there from Presley, and it's going to work.
Point, Tornadoes.
Tornadoes now 2 points away from winning this third set, taking a 2-1 advantage. Got some perspiration on the newly redesigned floor here at the Boschmer Gymnasium. Beautiful piece of artwork. Retro look. Logos of Brevard College, the USA South Conference, and of course, the namesake, Chick Martin Court here at the Boschmer Gymnasium. Can't forget old Chick. Tornado legend, part of that Hall of Fame here at Brevard College. Come check us out one of these days at the Boschmer Gymnasium. Lance somehow kept it alive. Now Nance sends it over, so nice job of resiliency there for the Tornadoes. Now Nance, check that, Lance sending it over. One of the more compelling rallies we've seen thus far. We've seen a few of them. Off the ceiling, and then Hoxett sends it over. Oh my. And then a diving get there from Presley, but the point will go to the Pride.
Point, Pride.
A wild point there, ultimately to the Pride. I mean, we're seeing the ceiling in play. We're seeing players send it over from distance. Parkins. Presley. Here's Blair Nance.
Point, Pride.
23-20. Pride are not going to go down easy. Presley. Parkins. Just missing wide.
Point, Pride.
So 3 consecutive points for the Pride, now 23-21. As the service continues for Kennedy Brumley, freshman from Minnesota. Here's Blair Nance.
Point, Pride.
So now 4 straight points for the Pride, who've worked all the way back to a 23-22.
Timeout on the court.
So timeout from head coach Abby Pardee. Tornadoes under the direction of Coach Pardee. She's in her 2nd season and assisted by Brittany Franks. Brittany Franks, by the way, followers of the Tornadoes would certainly know that name. Dual sport athlete, Brevard College softball, also Brevard College volleyball. And interestingly enough, even though her focus became softball in terms of her playing days, she has began this career as a volleyball coach and been a big part of this program. So appreciate all that Coach Brittany Franks does for the Tornadoes. But meanwhile, Coach Party and Coach Franks, this seems like a critical conversation here as Tornadoes leading 23-22. And we mentioned just how vital this third set is, especially in a matchup like this against one of the best teams in the USA South Conference. 6-1 in league play thus far, the Greensboro Pride.
Point, Pride.
So Ashley Hawks had made a judgment call. She thought that was going to go long, let it fall in, and ends up being an ace for the Pride. Brumley with the ace, all tied up at 23.
Point, Pride. Set point, Pride.
So the Pride have worked their way all the way back. And now with a set point opportunity. Parkins, Presley, back to Parkins. That's what the Tornadoes do best.
Point, Tornadoes.
And we're heading into extra time here in this third set. 24-24. Of course, you have to win by 2. Haggerty with the service for the Tornadoes. Crunch time here at the Bosch. Big time dig there from Lance. There's a battle at the net. Hoxick can win it.
Point, Tornadoes. Set point, Tornadoes.
And just like that, a set point for the Tornadoes.
Timeout on the court.
And Coach Kevin Troop wants to talk it over because I'm sure he realizes as well as the whole match might be hanging in the balance here. Tornadoes set number 3 ahead 25-24, a set point opportunity. What a play there by Hoxick going up high. It was one of those, the ball was sort of like in the middle, directly above the net. And a battle between Hoxitt and the Pride player up front. And Hoxitt somehow got the better of that equation. Caitlin Haggerty will handle the service as Tornadoes head 25-24. A thrilling third set here at the Boschmer Gymnasium on the campus of Brevard College. Serve from Haggerty. Dug up by Haggerty. Here's Presley setting up Hoxitt. Shiflett for the Pride. Now it's going to be another opportunity for the Pride. Big hit there, but it's wide. The game and the set are going to go to the Tornadoes.
Point, Tornadoes. And the Tornadoes take set number 3, 26-24. BC 2, Greensboro 1, heading to set number 4 at the Bosch.
So we'll head to set number 4 as the Tornadoes 6-24 set 3 win. And feeling good here at the Bosch, but have to close it out. You'll have an opportunity to do here in the 4th set. Could see a 5th set if necessary. Glad you're able to join us wherever you may be tuning in from. Women's soccer with the win earlier today, 4-0 at Salem College, continuing their winning ways and feeling good during this fall sports season at Brevard College. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this YouTube channel. So how do you do that? You hit that little subscribe button. But then one other step we'd like you to take. Hit that little bell. That little bell. And that'll give you all the notifications when the Brevard College Tornadoes go live. We bring you the action for every home Tornado athletic event. Also Tornado Talk on Monday nights. And glad you're able to tune in wherever you may be tuned in from. We get viewers from all over the world with the international makeup of Brevard College and certainly throughout the United States as well. So appreciate you wherever you may be tuning in from. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your October. Happy to report that leaves are starting to change. Fall is in the air here at Brevard College. It's a beautiful time of year in western North Carolina. Indoors, of course, here very pleasant at the Boschmer Gymnasium. It is 68 degrees currently outdoors here at Brevard, North Carolina. Meanwhile, through 3 sets, McKenna Parkins with 14 kills leading the Tornadoes. Caitlin Presley has 9. Ashley Hoxa with 8. Kendall Rockstow with 4. Blair Nance with 4. Jackson Tamicki with a kill as well. In the assist department, Logan Purdy with 21. Presley with 16. Purdy also has 4 aces. Bailey Lance has 3 aces. Presley has 2 aces. Haggerty with an ace as well. And Bailey Lance with 27 digs to lead the Tornadoes. Meanwhile, Greensboro, Peyton Shiflett leading the way with 18 kills. Krista Brantley has 9 kills. Kelsey Brooks has 7. Most everything runs through the libero, or check that, for the setter for Greensboro. Jalen Templeton, 38 of the team's 41 assists, all by Templeton. While the Tornadoes mix it up a little bit, whether it be Priddy or Presley, occasionally even Lance with a set here and there. But it's all Templeton when it comes to the Pride attack. Meanwhile, Pride on the dig side of things, Morgan Mayfield, the libero, leading the way with 13 digs. 4 blocks as a team for Greensboro, 3 for the Tornadoes. We mentioned service aces. Brevard with 10 service aces, so continuing to get it done in that department. Greensboro with 6. Been a compelling matchup. Tornadoes won the first set 25-20. Greensboro answered with a 25-20 win in set number 2, and then Tornadoes just won set number 3, 26-24. 2-1 Tornadoes on top in sets. Here we go, set number 4. Starting things off will be Templeton for the Pride. Tamicki tried to slam the door. Here comes Brantley. Point Pride. So Brantley able to get the winner there for the Pride. Point Pride. Pride 2, Tornadoes 0. Early goings, set number 4. Point Tornadoes. McKenna Parkins with her 15th kill. Leading all NATOs in that category. Meanwhile, here's Bailey Lance. She already has 3 aces thus far. Dug up nicely there by Mantell. Templeton keeping it alive for the Pride. Here's Brantley. Hawks it. Pretty. Now Presley.
Point, Pride.
Pride up 3-1 early on here, fourth set. Hawks it. Pretty. Parkins. Presley digs it up nicely. Here's Parkins with a hit. Big hit there from Presley. There was some action at the net. The point's going to go to the Tornadoes.
Point, Tornadoes.
Presley fires off a serve. Here come the Pride. Parkins, Presley, hawks it.
Point, Pride.
So the Pride with the early advantage here. Set number 4. Must-win situation for the Pride. Tornadoes ahead 2-1. Tornadoes would like nothing more than to just finish this off here in this fourth set. A long way to go. Blair Nance with the finish.
Point, Tornadoes.
Caitlin Haggerty will handle the service. She's got one ace to her credit thus far. Tornadoes in the home white jerseys. Greensboro in an all black look.
Point, Pride.
So Pride able to answer right back there. Kennedy Brumley with the service.
Point, Pride.
So Brumley once again will handle the serve after Pride able to continue to be effective here in this fourth set. Service ace there.
Point, Pride. Point, Tornadoes.
Service error goes to the Tornadoes' favor. And Kendall Rockstad will do the duties. 7-4 your score here, fourth set. Presley setting up Nance.
Point, Tornadoes.
Blair Nance. Couple kills here in this fourth set. 6 on the evening. Nice contribution.
Point, Tornadoes.
As Tamicki slams the door shut there. And Tornadoes working their way back into this early back and forth. Set number 4. Haggerty hawks it.
Point, Pride.
Service here for Lauren Mantell. Mantell fires away. Hoxett digs it up. Presley. Big hit there. Cody with the finish. Point Pride. Mantell with the serve. Presley setting up Blair Nance.
Point Tornadoes.
Very effective offensive attack from Nance these last few points. Tornadoes trailing 9-7. Logan Pretty checks back in. Pretty, one of 3 Tornadoes honored pregame for their recent milestones.
Point Pride.
Service now from Mayfield. Hit there from Presley.
Point Tornadoes.
10-8 your score. McKenna Parkins checks back in. She's been such a big part of tonight's success for the Nados as Haggerty checks out. Hoxett with the service. Jump serve from Hoxett. Lance setting up Presley. Parkins trying to slam it shut. Saved by Bailey Lance. To Mickey there on the block. Now Presley. Dug up there by Pretty. Here's Parkins. Templeton setting things up for the Pride attack. Now here come the Nados the other way. One of our longer rallies of this match. Here's Pretty setting up Parkins. And Parkins with the touch to finish off a spectacular rally.
Point Tornadoes.
Battle of wills there down the stretch. A long rally. You have to continue to stay focused throughout those rallies. And then Parkins able to come through with the touch play. Presley and Tamicki were there for the block, but to no avail.
Point Pride.
11-9, Pride on top. Service here will be the sensational Jalen Templeton. What a setter she is. Big assist numbers all night long. Also has an ace to her credit. Here's Presley. Hoxett did everything she could to keep that alive, but point will go to the Pride.
Point Pride.
It's been a fun one here at the Bosch. Tornadoes trailing 12-9 here in the fourth set. Ahead 2-1 in sets. Pretty. Parkins. That'll go to the Pride.
Point Pride.
Tornadoes need to be careful here, down by 4. You don't want this deficit to get much larger than this here in this fourth set. Ace there for the Pride.
Point Pride. Timeout on the court.
So a timeout on the court from Brevard. 14-9. Pride on top. Well, great to see members of the Far College women's basketball team in the house. We'll be getting things going with hoop season before we know it. McKenna Parkins, who's part of this volleyball team, dual sport athlete, will be on the court for the Tornadoes. A great time of year for Brevard College Tornado Athletics. Join us on Saturday for Brevard College football versus Southern Virginia, 1 p.m. It's Youth Day at Eyes Lamel Family Field. Bring out the Tornadoes of all ages to enjoy the festivities, and there'll be all sorts of activities for the junior Tornadoes, the little Tornadoes, the baby Tornadoes. Also, men's soccer action on Sunday if you want to check some of that out as well. Go to bctornadoes.com for all your listings and latest information on Brevard College athletics. Well, coming out of the timeout, that's a big hit from Parkins, and that's going to work for the Tornadoes.
Point, Tornadoes.
Desperately needed that point, down by 5. Make it 4-point deficit now, 14-10. And the service here for Bailey Lance. Critical juncture here if the Tornadoes want to win this in 4. Hawks it. Pretty. Parkins with a hit. Indeed.
Point, Tornadoes.
14-11, back-to-back points coming out of the timeout. So what was once a 5-point lead for Greensboro has been cut to 3. Here's Bailey Lance. Pretty. Lance. Here's Presley. Point, Pride. So the Pride able to wrestle the service back. 15-11 Pride on top after the Tornadoes cut it to 3. Here's Shiflett. Lance sets up Parkins. Here's Presley. Dug up nicely by Mayfield. And Pride are going to earn the victory on that rally. Point, Pride. Greensboro College Pride now with a 16-11 lead. Starting to get the feeling we're probably heading towards a 5th set.
Point, Tornadoes.
16-12. However, Tornadoes, while I say that, are still in the mix here, trailing by 4, but better put something together quick. Some perspiration on the surface here at Chick Martin Court, Boshemer Gymnasium, affectionately known by everybody on campus as simply the Bosch. The idea for any given event here is to pack the Bosch. It can get loud here when the student section's rocking. Point, Pride. 17-12, Pride on top. Stretching their lead back to 5. Checking in to serve is Klingensmith. Point, Pride. 18-12, so largest lead of the set for the Pride. Presley is going to set up Rockstad. How's Presley again setting up Parkins? Presley yet again. This time, here's Lance setting up Parkins in the winner from Parkins.
Point, Tornadoes.
Caitlin Haggerty checks back in. She'll handle the service.
Point, Pride.
Pride stretching their lead even further. 19-13 now. Hoxit. Hoxit yet again.
Point, Tornadoes.
So Kaylin Murphy, service specialist, will check back in. We saw Murphy on 2 services in the last set. Always a weapon. The service ace. Jump serve from Murphy that time, really using some power. Pride are going to come away with the point.
Point, Pride.
As Rockstad checks in for the NATOs. Meanwhile, Mantell will serve for the Pride, who have hit the 20-point mark here in this 4th set. Hoxit. Big hit there from Shiflett. Here's Hoxit. Too much on that.
Point, Pride.
So the Pride now 21-14. Timeout on the court.
Timeout on the court.
So 21-14 your score here, 4th set. Tornadoes up 2-1.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
So Tornadoes come out of the timeout with a point, and Pretty will be handling the service, but long road ahead here in the 4th set, down 21-15.
Point, Tornadoes.
Back-to-back points coming out of the timeout. Service continues from Pretty.
Point, Pride.
Pride able to earn that last point, setting up a service from the libero, Morgan Mayfield, freshman from Mount Airy, North Carolina, Mount Airy High School. The libero with the jump serve. in an ace from Mayfield.
Point Pride.
23-16. Set number 4. Pretty. Here's Presley. What a dig there, folks. By Mantell.
Point Pride. Set point Pride.
Sets up a set point situation here. 24-16 on a big cushion for the Pride.
And the Pride win the 4th set. We'll head to set number 5, Tornadoes and Pride, coming up next.
So we're all knotted up 2-2 in sets, heading to set number 5. Back and forth we go. Tornadoes won the first set, Pride won the second. Tornadoes won the third set, Pride won the fourth. And now it'll all come down to the 5th set here at the Boshemer Gymnasium. First team to 15 in the 5th set will earn the victory. So 25-16, your final score here in set number 4. That set was sort of all Pride. They were playing with desperation. They knew that they had to win that set, and they did exactly that. But now the key is for the Tornadoes to sort of regroup, put that set behind them. And, hey, it's the first one to 15. And opportunity for the Nados here in a 5-setter at the Bosch. Stick with us. 5th set action coming up shortly. Back here at the Boshemer Gymnasium. High drama here at the Bosch, heading to a 5th set. Tornadoes have played in a few 5th sets this season. This is the first one at home. Tornadoes defeated Huntington earlier in the season in 5. And then lost a 5-setter on the road in actually a neutral site competition, USA South tri-match in Rocky Mount, North Carolina this past weekend. Lost a 5-setter to Southern Virginia. So Tornadoes 1-1 in 5-setters this season, but first time we've seen a 5-setter at home. Real treat for the spectators who have stuck around, and also for you for tuning in to this edition of Brevard College Volleyball. It's next level stuff here going into towards the 5th set. First team to 15. Unless, of course, they're tied up at 15 and You have to win by 2, naturally. And at this juncture, both teams kind of have a feel for each other, know exactly what their strengths are. So this will be a compelling 5th set. Brevard College women's basketball team in attendance. They've got a practice scheduled for after this match, so that'll be a little later than expected, I would guess. And we are underway here at the Bosch. Big hit there from Presley. Dug up by Mayfield. Pretty keeps it alive, then Lance sends it over. Haggerty with a big dig. Here's Parkins. Templeton sets up Shiflett.
Point, Tornadoes.
And the first point goes to the NATOs here in this 5th set. And the service here from Bailey Lance. Bailey Lance with 3 aces thus far today.
Tornadoes, ace.
So Tornadoes with the ace from Lance make it 4 aces on the evening. And a 2-0 lead for the Tornadoes here. Service from Lance. And the finish there by Shiflett.
Point, Fry.
Big number for Shiflett. Her 25th kill of the match. Haggerty. Here's Parkins sending it over. Mantell keeping it alive for the Pride. Now here's Mayfield, Templeton, Shiflett.
Point, Pride.
Parkins was there for the block, but perhaps too much power from Shiflett. Meanwhile, another service here for Templeton. Templeton over 50 assists in this one. An enormous number. Parkins. And Shiflett's there for the block.
Point, Pride.
And the Pride have scored 3 straight points after a 2-0 lead for the NATOs. Templeton. Haggerty. Pretty. Presley. Shiflett keeps it alive. Templeton now setting up Brantley. Presley sends it over. Rockstad, that middle blocking position. Rockstad now sends it over. Here's Mayfield. Shiflett, dug up by Lance. Presley. Presley keeps it alive. Here's Pretty. Parkins with a big hit there. Mayfield.
Point, Tornadoes.
Nice job there by the Tornadoes, really, to maintain focus throughout a long rally, earn that win on that point, and then a 3-3 tie here. Presley with the serve. Pretty checks out. Blair Nance checks in.
Point, Tornadoes.
It's Caitlin Presley with the service. The Brevard, North Carolina local.
Tornadoes, ace.
So big time ace there from Presley. That's her 3rd of the evening. 5-3 Tornadoes on top, 5th set. Big time dig there from Lance. And that attack will sail long.
Point, Pride.
And the Pride cut the Tornado lead to 5-4. Here's Shiflett with the service. She has 1 ace to go along with her 25 kills.
Point, Tornadoes.
Credit the winner there to Blair Nance. As Hoxett checks back in, Haggerty checks out. Parkins will handle the service. Parkins, Lance, Presley, Nance, Hoxett, and Rockstad on the court for the NATOs.
Point, Pride.
Pride able to slam the door shut there. 6-5, NATOs on top, fifth set. Checking in to serve will be Klingensmith. Presley, Hoxett, big hit, and the finish.
Point, Tornadoes.
7-5, Tornadoes on top here in this fifth set. Well, if you're on campus and you're watching this, hustle over here to the Bosch because this is some exciting stuff down the stretch here. Tornadoes ahead 7-5 here in the fifth set. As what an answer there. Taylor Cody for the Pride.
Point, Pride.
Tornadoes 7, Pride 6. Kennedy Brumley will do the honors. Parkins, Presley, and Nance unable to complete that attack.
Point, Pride.
Tornadoes 3-4 in the conference, taking on one of the best teams in the conference, the Greensboro Pride, at 6-1. As service error there, point back to the NATOs.
Point, NATOs.
So teams will switch sides midway through this fifth set. And Tornadoes hanging on to an 8-7 lead here in this fifth set, showing that they can hang with anyone in the Sun Conference. They played one of the better teams in the Sun Conference this past weekend. Southern Virginia win 5-set against the Knights. And now in a fifth set against Greensboro. Tornadoes next up, a trip to William Peace on Saturday. And then back here at the Bosch, non-conference matchup versus Warren Wilson on Tuesday, October the 10th. The Tornadoes been playing very well as of late. You know, 6 days ago, many of you probably caught the Tornadoes defeat Pfeiffer in a 3-0 sweep. And then splitting the tri-match in Rocky Mount, North Carolina over the weekend, including a 3-1 win over NC Wesleyan. Have played well in USA South Conference play with 3 league victories, a 3-4 conference record. Looking to go to 4-4 in the conference, but 1 point at a time. Now 8-7. Tornadoes on top. Logan Pretty will serve. Now Tornadoes going left to right on your device after the two teams switch sides midway through this fifth set. First team to 15 wins the set and the match.
Point, Pride.
All tied up at 8. Had 15 lead changes, or check that, 15 tied scores, but just 2 lead changes in this. Pretty setting up Presley. Presley with a big hit. Parkins. Hoxett. Hoxett keeps it alive somehow. Lance. Now Parkins, no choice but to send it over. Cody. Cody once again in the finish from Cody. Taylor Cody.
Point, Pride.
Pride up 9-8. Here's Presley. Cody with a big hit there. Long.
Point, Tornadoes.
Caitlin Haggerty will check in. She's going to handle the service. One of the top servers on the club. She's got an ace this evening and making 2 aces.
Tornadoes, ace.
Jump serve for Haggerty, back-to-back aces.
Tornadoes, ace.
Caitlin Haggerty has propelled the Tornadoes to an 11-9 lead. Pretty. Here's Lance. Parkins. Saved by Shiflett. Point Nados.
Point, Tornadoes. Timeout on the court.
So a timeout on the court with the Tornadoes ahead 12-9 here in this 5th set. Wow, what a stretch there with the Haggerty service. This has been a wild one. Brevard won the first set 25-20. Greensboro answered with a 25-20 second set. Set number 3 went all the way to a 26-24 result in favor of the Nados. Greensboro kind of handled the Nados in the 4th set, 25-16, but look at this. Set number 5, a 12-9 advantage for the home team, the Brevard College Tornadoes, under the direction of head coach Abby Pardee, assistant coach Brittany Franks. And we're glad you're able to join us wherever you may be tuning in from. You've tuned into a thriller here at the Bosch. McKenna Parkins has led the way for the Tornadoes with 20 kills. Ashley Hoxett has 10. Caitlin Presley has 10 as well. And Blair Nance has really come on in these last few sets, now with 8 kills. Logan Pretty with 27 assists. Caitlin Presley with 23. Bailey Lance and Pretty each with 4 aces. Haggerty has 3. There's her serve. Haggerty digs that up. Big finish there from Presley. And a 13-9 advantage for the Tornadoes. 2 points away from a potential match victory.
Point, Tornadoes. Set point, match point, Tornadoes.
So 14-9 your score. Set and match point.
And the Tornadoes win! Your final score in set number 5. Tornadoes 15, Bride 9. Tornadoes win 3-2. Glad you're able to join us here at the Boschberg Gymnasium for this edition of Brevard College Tornadoes Volleyball. Once again, your final score, Brevard 3, Greensboro 2. Nados win. Drive home safely. Good night.
What a performance by the Brevard College Tornadoes volleyball program. As good of a win we've seen here in recent years. A 5-set win over one of the top teams in the USA South Conference, the Greensboro Pride. Greensboro entered this match with a 6-1 record in USA South Conference play, make it 6-2 after this defeat. And the Tornadoes now improved to 4-4 in the USA South Conference, 6-8 overall. They've won 2 in a row. They've won 3 of their last 4 and win an absolute thriller in 5 sets here at the Bosch. Stick with us. We'll bring you all the final numbers in this one in just a moment. As Brevard won the first set 25-20, then fell 25-20 in set number 2. Set number 3, Brevard with the 26-24 win, set number 4. Greensboro 25-16. And then in this final 5th set, a 15-9 win by the Brevard College Tornadoes. So some final statistics here from an absolute thriller at the Boshemer Gymnasium as the Tornadoes win 3-2. McKenna Parkins leading the way in the attack department with 20 kills. Ashley Hoxha with 10. Caitlin Presley with 11. Logan Priddy at 28 assists. Caitlin Presley at 23. Tornadoes with 15 aces as a team. Haggerty, Lance, and Priddy each with 4. Caitlin Presley with 3 service aces. And in the block department, Tornadoes getting it done as well. Blocks by Hoxett, blocks by Rockstad, blocks by Tamicki, and then defensively also Bailey Lance with 34 digs. Peyton Shiflett led Greensboro with 26 kills, 56 assists for Templeton, and Mayfield with 23 digs to lead the Pride. But what a thriller here at Brevard College. Tornadoes with the big win, and Tornadoes improved to 4-4 in the USA South Conference. Pride dropped to 6-2. So one of the more dramatic and impressive wins we've seen from Brevard College volleyball this evening at the Boschberg Gymnasium. We'll want to thank all those behind the scenes. Melody Ferguson providing broadcast support and handling the spotting duties. Justin Espino pushing all the buttons as producer. Sports Information Director Joseph Marvin and Angie Mascaro handling the statistics. And the Brevard College softball team handling operations here at the Bosch for this evening's contest. Well, we started with a celebration of several career milestones as 3 Tornadoes went over the 1,000 mark, whether it be in digs or assists. And we end the evening with a thrilling 5-set victory. Tornadoes winning in that 5th set, 15-9, to clinch the 3-2 win. Well, appreciate you tuning in for this edition of Brevard College Volleyball. Have a very pleasant rest of your Tuesday evening. Your final score for the final time, Brevard 3, Greensboro 2. Go Tornadoes!